Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead, push the like button, appreciate it. Today I'm going to be working on taking the interior panel, the console, the center out, and the center bezel around the radio to get to the auto shifter and remove that. I have to cut and enlarge the hole on the transmission tonal where the shifter comes through to do the R154 swap. So stick with me, and it's a little time consuming, this video, but if you pay attention, you might learn something. I have meticulously taken these cars apart before, like when I had my 89, and you have to be very careful not to break anything. So if you pay attention in this video, maybe you need to get to the radio, or maybe you're doing a radio and you don't remember how to take out the panel. This video could help you. And these cars are old, so the plastics are old and brittle. Just be very careful, pay attention to this video, and it should help you. Appreciate you watching. Thanks. Welcome back to the channel, guys. So something I need to do is I got to remove this auto shifter because it's getting converted to a manual. I pulled this Phillips screw out, and then this bezel is gonna have to be removed, the black part, and it does go behind part of the under the steering column cover. So I already removed a few. Here's two more screws, and it looks like some M6 bolts. This is just tucked up here, and you're gonna have an M6 bolt and then a screw over here and the same over here. That'll free that up. I'm just gonna leave it hanging. I'm gonna get my plastic interior pry bar. I got this toolkit that removes covers so you don't damage the plastics. And I'm pretty sure there's probably, it's been a long time since I pulled this stuff out of my old 89. There's probably gonna be hardware in there because it feels pretty tight still. So that's where I'm at with this. And then eventually I'm gonna have to pull the gauge cluster out and solder in a 10K ohm resistor for the tach to calibrate. You can do it through ECU Masters on the standalone, but you still have to weld or solder in the resistor to get that to work. And over here, something that's different, on a turbo chassis, you'll have a boost gauge over here. This is the battery. You'll have a battery on a non-turbo. But this has probably never been removed. It's got the factory radio, and I bought this Bluetooth. Yeah, they make cassette tapes that are Bluetooth, so you can listen to your like iTunes or whatever off your phone with the factory radio. I was just messing around with that when I first got the car. Alright, this is the pry tool kit I bought. It's like 20 bucks. So it's got like interior panels. It's got even little keys to remove connectors, like electrical connectors, and the stuff to remove the body clips, like the push pin clips. So it's a good deal. Recommend buying it. This is ABS, so it won't break. Alright, so there's a couple screws you gotta take out here. You shouldn't have to remove the cable, but I'll give you some more slack for this to come away. And then there's a hole you could stick a screwdriver in and get to that screw. There's also, you gotta take the ashtray out. Like 4 screws in here behind the ashtray that need to come out. But yeah, so you run a screwdriver. This is what I did. I ran a screwdriver up here because there's a screw right here you need to take out. And that clip looks like it's gonna fall, and that's gonna be irritating if that fights me going back in. I'm still trying to find all the fasteners because this thing's still tight and I don't want to break it. Alright, so when you guys take this out, there's a little connector. It's a little LED light, and there's gonna be the 2 screws up here. And be careful because there's little tiny, I'll show you. There's like these little keeper washers. They're like reddish orange. Like go to the upper ones. But luckily this one was just sitting up there when I pulled this upper tray assembly out. It was just sitting right here. You don't want to lose that. And then this comes out. And then if you're like me and there's no power in the car, I got very lucky. And I was able to push the screwdriver into the cushion and get to that screw. And then I did the other side, and then on the inside of here you have the one screw there. And then you're gonna have to, the little storage right here, or the Thames, depending on what you have, it should just pop out. Unplug it if it's a Thames. Mine's just a little like cubby hole storage. And then underneath, mine had a little carpet. There's a little black piece of felt pad that was inside the little storage right here. And then you remove that, and there's a screw. And then this, with my hand, this whole thing should be loose. I don't even know if you're supposed to do this or not. I can't remember. But, oh, this is starting to pop out now. I don't want to break it. I want to say on my 89 there was a screw here, but I don't feel. You just want to take your time and get your hand behind stuff. If it feels tight, don't pull it. You probably have. Oh, I popped out this just to see if there was any screws hidden in there. If it's tight, you probably have a fastener hidden behind there. Oh man. So I'm just gonna keep working on this. It's a lot involved for sure. I mean, especially because of this one screw over here, you have to take this off, or at least drop it and get that one screw out. I don't think there was anything behind this. There might be a screw, but I don't know. That's where I'm at right now. Another thing, baggies. And you can put everything in one bag, but you're just gonna give yourself a headache. So ashtray has its own bag. There's a bag down here just for this side. And then I have a bag. This is from the glove box I took out like last year. This one's empty. But you want to put as many screws and organization as you can, or it's just going to be a nightmare. The one screw that was here is in its container, and then the two back here on the sides and the one that's in here, they're all three in here. I could put them in a bag, but definitely organize yourself, or it's going to be confusing trying to figure out where these screws go, because some are probably different lengths, and that's just going to make it easier on you and less stressful. It's already stressful enough. I went to pull on this a little. I barely even pulled on this, and part of that broke, but it doesn't, you can't even, I shouldn't have pulled on that, but I don't know, you know, I'm just trying to feel how tight stuff was, and that's old, early 90s brittle plastic. You just gotta be very, very delicate. These older cars, it's like surgery. You gotta be meticulous, go slow, and just take your time. But yeah, and definitely have plastic tools. Don't just use a flat metal screwdriver when you pop out these covers to get the screws, because you will scratch it. I guarantee you will scratch it. Just buy the tools. These are cheap. You don't have to get the big kit like I bought that has all of it. Just get like this. I think Harbor Freight even sells some of these. They're totally worth buying. I guarantee you. And it gives you that little bit of an angle and certain areas where you're going to need to get into without scratching up your interior. Because you can tell when somebody's been in an area. Like over here, I've never been in here, and I can tell somebody's marred up this little screw right here, the cover, and down there. You don't want that. You want it. These cars are getting old. You want to take care of them. Just appreciate them. All right, I'm gonna keep working on this. This is something I wanted to give you guys for some advice. Okay, guys, so I finally got this out. I had to fish it out. You unplug the hazard cable, and then this connector here goes to your cigarette lighter, and it went up, and then I kind of had to turn it this way, and it came out. There's on an auto, because this is probably good information in video. On an auto, you have like 4 Phillips screws, and they're down here. These kind. I already started unplugging a few things. So this bezel was the first thing I unplugged. It was in the way. And then this connector. I gotta do this blue one still. And then it looks like, and that just those 4 Phillips screws just make this move, probably so you can get it out of your way. And then these look like 10s, 10 millimeter, probably like M6s. And then this thing should come out. Yeah, just take your time. I was able to get, I didn't need to, but I didn't know. I was able to get to these screws right here. Those 3, very carefully with this still in the car, like just kind of crooked. And then also be careful. There's these metal like prongs. When you pull this up, because it was trying to scratch my climate control and the factory radio, which I think it didn't touch it a little bit right here on this number 5 button. It's hard to see. Number 6. It's fine though, it didn't damage it, thank God. Just be careful, take your time. There's washers, so just be careful. They were underneath these tabs. If you wanna, this stuff is valuable to other people that may need a new one on the used market. So just try to take care of the things that you remove, because it could help another person out. So I'm gonna bag these washers. There's one that fell before they get lost. Just like that, it comes straight up. I went ahead and just kind of moved this to the side. There's a computer here. Well, I don't know what that is yet, but yeah, that can maybe be removed. I'll talk to my guy making the standalone harness if that's going to upset any of the factory stuff. But yeah, it comes out, kind of turned it a little bit. That's how you remove the auto shifter. And then this blue plug, just take a it's not on this side. Let me set this down. This blue plug, I used my pick. Where's my pick at? Down here. This one was a little confusing, but I got in from this little, focus, from this little hole here and lifted up and then pulled that one out. So that's out now. This is why I'm unfamiliar with this. When I had my 89, I didn't have airbags. That's what this is. It's the airbag sensor. So depends on what you're doing, if you want to remove it or not. I'm not going to tell you to do that for safety reasons, and I'm not going to be responsible if you were to be injured or killed in your car. I say leave it, don't touch it. Whenever you're doing a manual to auto conversion, putting a manual in an auto chassis like a Mark III, this hole is too small. I was just looking at pictures, and I was sort of aware of this, but didn't know now until for sure seeing this. But this hole is going to have to be cut out larger to allow for the shifter to move into your 1, 3, and 5 gears without hitting this. So this hole is for the auto. It's more of like a rectangle. Essentially like about where the shadow line is, I'm going to have to cut and make larger. So, and I was unaware of that when I scrapped my 89 chassis to the junkyard, or else I probably would have took a template off of it. But I did keep, and I didn't know either, but I kept the where the clutch pedal mounts up behind the crash bar and the dash. I even drilled out the spot welds just in case I needed that extra piece, but I didn't need it on this chassis for the clutch pedal. But yeah, so just be aware you're gonna have to cut these out larger on an auto chassis. Okay guys, the cutting is done. I still have to drill 2 holes up there, but there it is. It's probably way bigger than it needs to be, but I went off my boot, and then I don't have the base plate for this, but I made a template. and it's a little, this is a little bigger. Plus I went off a picture I had of my 89. I noticed there was more material on this side from the factory for the manual cutout, and it was closer over here. I went off a little bit. I got a little crooked on me. That's okay. And then it's up far enough that it needs. It's a little too far. Maybe a ½ inch forward than what it needs to be, because there's a recess pocket, and I was looking at the picture, and there's probably about a ½ inch before the top cutout hits that, and then it kind of rounds off more this way. But I just cut a bunch of slits first around my pattern, and then this is what I used. This was given to me. It's an old tool. It's a reciprocating air power saw, and it just worked like crazy. Went right through it. But yeah, you do a bunch of slits when you cut a hole, and then you just kind of go into one out of them at an angle, and eventually you'll get behind it, and all these tabs will start falling off, and you'll get it cut out. And then I went behind it with my Dremel with a stone. Yeah, chewed that up pretty good, but to soften that edge so it's not so sharp. Now it's raw metal, so I don't want it to rust, so I'm gonna put some paper out around here and just kind of hit it real quick with some primer. But I need to tap those holes up there. I might have to weld nuts on the back side, but this is where I'm at. I'm almost done with this conversion for the center console, deleting the auto and converting to manual. Well, thanks for watching again, guys. I know I've been uploading these videos probably like every day, but I've just been out here every day. And anytime I get a chance to film, that's what I'm doing. There might be some breaks here and there as I get busy with family and work. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel, my current subscribers, and hopefully I get some more subscribers. I'm not trying to go big with YouTube, but why not give it a chance? I put the time and effort into this to make these videos for people and editing some of the footage, so the more we can get out there, the better for the community, for the Mark IIIs. Appreciate it. Let your friends know. Try to get some more subscribers, and more content will keep coming as I build this car and get the 1JZ swap done. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe. Take care.